Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nepali Political Kabaddi Championship. Here in this hallowed and slightly dusty arena, our esteemed politicians will engage in a fierce battle of blame passing. Yes, you heard right. Forget tackling and raiding. This game is all about skillfully dodging responsibility and pinning the blame on your opponents. The stakes? Oh, just the future of the nation. No biggie. Now you might be wondering, how does one play this absurd game of political kabaddi? It's simple, really. Instead of physically tagging their opponents, our politicians will launch verbal volleys of blame, all while chanting the sacred mantra, Kabaddi Kabaddi Kabaddi. The politician who successfully passes the blame without getting pinned down by their own words scores a point. The team with the most blame successfully deflected at the end, well, they get the dubious honor of leading the country for now. Let's meet our esteemed players, shall we? The stage is set and the actors are ready to perform their parts in this grand political theater. On one side, we have the ruling party led by the ever-so-composed Prime Minister, a man whose default expression is one of bewildered innocence. His speeches often leave the public wondering if he's genuinely confused or just playing the part. Facing off against him is the opposition leader, a fiery orator known for his booming voice and even boomier accusations. His passionate speeches are filled with fervor, aiming to rally the masses and challenge the status quo. Then there's the transport minister, notorious for blaming potholes on the weather, as if the rain itself conspired against the infrastructure. His explanations often leave the public scratching their heads. The health minister, who attributes hospital bed shortages to a sudden surge in public affection, seems to believe that love, not policy, is the root cause of the crisis. His statements are often met with disbelief and amusement. And finally, the finance minister, a master of blaming invisible external forces for the country's economic woes. His ability to find scapegoats for financial troubles is almost an art form, leaving the public both impressed and exasperated. The whistle blows and the match begins. The players take their positions, ready for the intense game ahead.
Kabaddi Kabaddi Kabaddi. The government is corrupt, inefficient, and guilty of the heinous crime of serving lukewarm tea at state functions. They can't even get the basics right.
Kabaddi Kabaddi Kabaddi, he chants, his words echoing the age-old cries of blame-shifting politicians throughout history. This chant has become a ritual, a performance in the theater of politics.
Kabaddi Kabaddi Kabaddi. It's the previous administration's fault. They left us with this mess, and now we have to clean it up.
And so it goes, a dizzying back and forth of blame, each accusation more ludicrous than the last. The cycle of blame never ends, it just keeps spinning.
Kabaddi Kabaddi Kabaddi. It's the finance minister's fault for the lack of road repairs. Our infrastructure is crumbling because of their negligence.
Kabaddi Kabaddi Kabaddi. It's the education minister's fault for the shortage of qualified doctors. Our healthcare system is in shambles because of their poor policies.
The air grows thick with accusations, denials, and the faint scent of desperation. Each politician tries to outdo the other, hoping to deflect blame and emerge unscathed. Meanwhile, the citizens, the supposed beneficiaries of this political charade, look on with a mixture of amusement and weary resignation. They've seen it all before. The empty promises, the theatrical blame games, the utter lack of accountability. Some shake their heads, others sigh, and a few brave souls even dare to laugh. Because what else can they do? It's just another day in the grand circus of Nepali politics. As the dust settles and the final Kabaddi 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 fades into the humid air, the politicians gather for the post-match press conference. They come together, not to celebrate or commiserate, but to put on a show of unity and resolve. Microphones are thrust in their faces, and eager journalists pepper them with questions about their performance, their strategies, and most importantly, their plans to address the very real issues plaguing the nation. The air is thick with anticipation and skepticism.
Well, we did our best under the circumstances. We faced many challenges, but we remained steadfast.
The government needs to take responsibility for their failures. They have let the people down time and again.
We are working on a plan, but it's complicated. There are many factors to consider, and we need time.
We need more support from other departments. Collaboration is key to overcoming these hurdles.
The budget constraints are challenging, but we are optimistic. We believe we can find a way. to make things work.
But our politicians are masters of their craft. They know how to navigate the treacherous waters of public opinion. They dodge questions with the grace of seasoned athletes, sidestepping accountability with practiced ease, offering vague platitudes and well-rehearsed sound bites. Their words are carefully chosen to appease the masses. No one takes responsibility for anything. The cycle of blame and denial continues unabated. The blame game, it seems, is far from over. Each side points fingers, deflecting criticism and avoiding the hard truths.